Welcome guys to my new video. Today we need to learn together all about the arrays in C++ programming language. We need to learn how to declare, to initialize an array in C++. So like my video, subscribe to my channel and let's start our video. First, what is an array? In C++, an array is a data structure that is used to store multiple values of similar data types in a contiguous memory location. Like here in this example, we have an array in C++. This is an array. This array contains 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tables. All values have an index here. The index starts with 0 and it ends with 5. And this is the array element. Each element have an value. Okay, an array is a variable that can store multiple values, like here, of the same type. Here we have an integer. It's an integer. We can be the element can be character, for example, or etc. Now let's see the properties of an array in C++. An array is a collection of data of the same data type stored at a contiguous memory location. Indexing of an array starts with 0. The elements of an array can be accessed using their index. Once an array is declared, its size remains constant throughout the program. An array can have multiple dimensions. The number of elements in an array can be determined using the size of operator. We can find the size of the type of elements stored in an array by subtracting adjacent addresses. We need to show all these properties in next video when I need to solve problems about the array in C++. Now the declaration of the array in C++. In C++, we can declare an array by simply specifying the data type first and the name of a variable of an array with its size. For example, here is the syntax of the declaration of the array. We have the array type, array name, and size of the array. Here in this example, we have to declare an array contain 5 elements. The first element have an index 0 and to 4. The array have a size of this array is 5, and this memory is allocated. Okay. The int here is the type of data to be stored in the array. We can also use other data types such as character, float, or double. ARR, it is the name of the array, can be named, for example, X, Y, T, etc. 5 is the size of the array, which means only 5 elements can be stored in this array. Okay, this is how to declare an array with an example. Now the initialization of array in C++. In C++, we can initialize an array in many ways, but we will discuss some most common ways to initialize an array. We can initialize an array at the time of declaration or after declaration. First, initialize the array with values in C++. We have initialized the array with value. The values enclosed in curly braces are assigned to the array. Here, 1 is stored in array 0, 2 in array 1, and so on. Here the size of the array is 5. For example, here we have an array contain 5 elements. Array 0, it's mean I need the value that the index is 0. Here the first value is 1. The value of the array that have an index 1, it's 2. The value of the array that have the index 3 is 0, 1, 2, 3, it's 4. Second, initialize the array with values and without size in C++. We have initialized the array with values, but we have not declared the length of the array. Therefore, the length of the array is equal to number of elements inside the curly braces. Like here, for example, it's not important to put the size of the array. We can put the element in the braces and the compiler can know the size of this array automatically. Now 3, how to initialize an array after declaration using a loop. Here I need to use the for loop. When I need to solve problems, I need to use the for loop because it's more easy. We have initialized an array using a loop after declaring the array. This method is generally used when we want to take input from the user, or we can to assign elements one by one to each index, or the array we can modify the loop conditions or change the initialization values according to requirements. For example, here I need to use for int I equal to 0, I less than or for n, and I plus plus array of r equal values. Here I use the for loop when I have, for example, a huge number of elements. I can't initialize an element one by one. I used a for loop to initialize a huge number of elements one time. For example, if we have an array that contains a million of elements, I can't declare the element one by one. I use the for loop. For how to initialize an array partially in C++, here we have to declare an array with, for example, size 5 and with value 1 and 2 only. So this value are stored and the first two indices and at the rest of the index is 0. It's stored 0 because we don't have a value. 5. We can initialize the array with all elements as 0 by specifying 0 inside the curly braces. This will happen in case of 0 only if we try to initialize the array with a different value, say 2, using this method, then 2 is stored at the 0 index only. Like here, this example, int 0, array 5 equal to 0 under the braces. Size of an array in C++. In C++, we do not have the length function as in Java, for example, to find the array size, but we can calculate the size of an array using size of operator trick. First, we find the size occupied by the whole array in the memory and then divide it by the size of the type element stored in the array. This will give us the number of elements stored in the array. For this is the syntax: data type size equal size of array name, or size of array name with index. It's all about array in C++. Don't forget to like my video, subscribe to my channel, and if you have any question, contact me on Instagram. And don't forget to join my WhatsApp and Telegram channel to get the PDF course. Thank you for watching and see you in next video.